Hello, and welcome to the AT Center at TCNJ. This three-part webinar series is titled Harmony in Learning, Integrating Songwriting in Education, and is presented by Abigail Jones. Abigail is a board-certified music therapist working in New York City. Throughout her practice, she has worked with individuals from birth to death while in medical, educational, memory care, and mental health settings. She has worked in the NICU, PICU, outpatient mental health, special education, and assisted living facilities, and has worked with people with a wide range of diagnoses. She received her undergraduate degree in music therapy and psychology from the UMKC in Kansas City and received her master's at CSU. She is also trained in neurological music therapy techniques. These webinars are made possible through our partnership with the NJ Department of Ed, Office of Special Education. The statements issued by guest presenters do not reflect the stance of the NJDOE OSC. Please use your professional judgment when implementing strategies and resources within your practice. Let's listen to Abigail as she walks us through information on songwriting in schools.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about songwriting in the educational setting. So some core goals and objectives that can be addressed, of course, are academic. You can enhance language, literacy, and memory through lyric creation. And this reinforces content knowledge and musical mnemonics. So again, using the structure of music, the musical elements to enforce learning. Then you have the social emotional goals and objectives. So music improves emotional awareness, expression, and regulation, especially in the group setting as students are interacting with each other. It can promote empathy, perspective taking, and resilience as well. And then also it can be creative and communicative. So what's really cool about music is you can communicate an experience without words. And sometimes that might be more accessible and more easy for a person, for a student. And this can be done in a safe way. It empowers their voice and identity through self-composed songs. And it can also build their confidence as they have these experiences with peers. And then preparing something, you can also present a song, and that can help with presentation skills as well. So some examples of program structure and activities for the session format. You can you can open with a check-in with a music-based social emotional learning activity. You can do some songwriting with a theme, and then that can be the framework for addressing an academic topic, or if you want to focus more on self-expression, that can be about that, or about me, just sharing who they are with their peers. And that can prompt introduction. You can do some lyric writing exercises. This is nice because it can be done individually with just two people or in a group. There's melody and rhythm exploration. So this can be done improvisationally. So it's less about writing a song or creating something new out of something that was pre-composed, or learning a song that was already created. With improvisation, there's really no structure, and it's really ensuring that everyone's in the moment with each other, and again, some of that more nonverbal communication. Something else that can be really fun within your session format is doing a performance or a recording session. You can do that on GarageBand. That is on every iPad, iPhone, iMac, and it's free, and it's pretty easy to use. There's also BandLab and other online recording studios as well. So some theme examples for if you were to use any of these session formats is, like I said before, all about me. Just sharing who you are with other people can be so powerful, and being given the tools to do that through music. The feelings forecast, again, making sure that this is not a deep dive into feelings or emotions, but creating space for people to share how they feel and communicate that through an instrument and like receive feedback from their classmates about that. And then making sure that you're consulting with a counselor, therapist, music therapist, social worker, if you are going to do this, just to get that support if you need it. Another example is a friendship anthem. So this can help with bonding, social interaction, especially in the classroom. All those moments are so meaningful and so powerful, and a friendship anthem could be a great thing to take with them as they move on past the classroom. And then for growth mindset and resilience, you can have the theme of like, we can do hard things. So again, making sure that you have the support that you need, but having students share how they get through hard things and what helps them carry through with something, what helps them grow. That can be a really nice example. So some tools and techniques. With musical techniques, you can do lyric substitution. So taking a pre-composed song and changing the lyrics to be about something different. So, I work at a school for children and teens and young adults with disabilities, brain injuries, brain-based disorders. And for Disability Pride Month, we changed the lyrics to Try Everything to be about disability pride. So it took like the meaning of try everything, like empowerment, being who you are, not giving up when things are hard, and then also adding in like what makes them as a person with disabilities and being proud of that. So that's a really easy way to do that. Songwriting scaffolding. So you can start off with the beat, you can start off with lyrics, and then bringing it all together to hear how it sounds. And then also rhythm games. So something that I like to do is like clapping a rhythm. And then if, let's say I'm clapping this rhythm, I'm in a group and I'm the leader clapping the rhythm. So everyone else will clap with me and do what I do. And then I just look to my right, and then whoever is to my right then becomes leader. And then they create their own new pattern. And then everyone has to do that as well. And then that's just a really fun way to promote engagement, have that social bonding within the classroom. You can also use instruments, or if instruments are like you can use mallets to play them. They have really nice sound. Any percussion instruments can be really fun, and keyboards. And then also technology is a really great and like free way to make music. In GarageBand, there's this thing called the beat sequencer, where you can create beats by like touching random squares that light up and have different sounds. And so you could even pass around the iPad and have everyone add a beat, take away a beat, claps, kick drum. And then by the end, they've all created this beat together that can be used for like a chant for a transition or something. So that's a really free tool that I highly recommend. That's on all iPhones, iPads, iMacs. And then there's Soundtrap. That's and BandLab. They're both really great, like recording websites as well. So if you want to do some recording sessions, you can do that as well. So some therapeutic techniques. So for lyric analysis and songwriting, this can be used to process emotional expression. So again, if we're needing some bonding in the classroom, you can use that lyric analysis. So that's a little more of a receptive music therapy technique that I've used before, but this can definitely be implemented by someone who wants to have students just engage more, like listen to a song, or a student can share their favorite song, be like, why do you like this? And then talk about the lyrics, how it made them feel. So yeah, it's a really nice, easy, receptive way to engage with music. Then you can co-create music as a group cohesion tool. So as I spoke on earlier, it's a great way to have that bonding in the classroom, even at the beginning of the day as a check-in, incorporating music. And then ensure, as I said before, ensure proper staff are involved as needed if anything comes up outside of your scope of practice. So, similar to me, if I'm working with a student and there's something like PT related, I make sure that I immediately go to the PT and let them know about my concerns or something that I noticed. And so similarly, like as you're using music and talking about lyrics and stuff comes up, which I'm sure you experience a lot in your classroom, just ensuring that as you're using the powerful tool of music that can evoke emotions and maybe trigger something in someone that is unexpected because of an experience that they had, making sure that you have someone there to support as well. And then some adaptations for diverse needs. So, if your students are neurodivergent learners, making sure that there's accessibility through visual and tactile supports, AAC integration. So, leaving time to make choices, doing partner-assisted scanning through options for their instruments or what song they want to share, and then making everything very clear and straightforward within the structure. So there's no question as to what's expected of them. And then it's also helpful for any staff working with the student as well. It can be provided as a mental health support. So even though you're not providing that mental health support, if anything does come up, then maybe that student can then talk to a counselor or a therapist or a social worker and get the help that they need. And then also just in general, making sure that you have trainings that are trauma informed, just so you can be ready to respond as appropriate within your scope of practice as stuff comes up. And then cultural relevance. So just making sure that whatever music is being chosen, if you're choosing it, what instruments you have, the different genres you're exploring, that there is inclusion and that all musical backgrounds are represented, languages, traditions, and also just becoming knowledgeable of like what kind of music and how it's used within a cultural context is really helpful as you're working with a diverse group of people. Okay, so some evaluations and outcomes. For progress monitoring, you can have, of course, qualitative assessments. So you can have students engage in journals, reflections, and you can also observe their behavior. If you're seeing a change with implementing music, that can be a really nice way to see maybe if it is a helpful tool, how it can be incorporated at home, in different aspects of their school day, whatever their day looks like. And then quantitative tools, you could use rubrics for social emotional learning growth, academic integration, and just like any type of data tracking that you already use. And again, music is a tool for non-musical goals. So whatever non-musical thing that you're evaluating, you can plug music into that and see how you can incorporate music to help them reach their goals. Student feedback and empowerment. So self-assessment on emotional expression and growth is super helpful, and equally as important for the person evaluating and for the student themselves, just to reflect on that. And this can provide opportunity for leadership and peer mentoring within the classroom setting. So again, I've talked a lot about some more like social emotional learning, but these musically informed approaches can also promote academic learning through chanting, what you're learning about. So if you're not super musical, you can, just chant the best you can, or you can use familiar tunes. that are age appropriate and plug in information there. So getting creative with like what ways you can make music already and then integrating that. And then like we discussed before with music in the brain, just using music as a framework for learning and self-expression and social emotional growth. So yeah, just wanted to know these slides are more about social emotional things, but it does carry over to those other academic goals as well. All right, integration and collaboration. So something that I'm sure you are already doing, but as you are perhaps exploring how to incorporate more music into your classroom, sharing that with school staff and IEP teams. So you can align with parents, teachers, counselors, and therapists, saying like, hey, I use this chant and this really helped them learn this topic or help them self-regulate. Because I taught them this chant. Now they do it themselves and they like tap their arms as they say it. So just really honing in on what benefits the student, and then carrying that over to different aspects of their life so everyone is on the same page. And if it's like a tool, then everyone can be using it throughout the student's day at school and at home and wherever else they go. So again, family and community involvement is super helpful. As I just said, they can share the songs through family nights. They could do like community recordings or school assembly. So this can really spread far into the student's life. And then cross-curricular opportunities. So using music could be a fun opportunity to discuss the student, like what is helping the student, and then sharing that across the different departments as well.
Thank you for joining us. Are you a New Jersey educator looking for support or professional development tailored to your district's assistive technology needs? We offer free, customized training and coaching for NJ teachers, paraprofessionals, and families. From hands-on workshops to individual classroom support and small group facilitation, we're here to help. Visit us at atcenter.tcnj.edu to learn more. Have a question? Contact us anytime at atcenter@tcnj.edu. Please like this video, leave us a comment, and subscribe for more content on all things assistive technology.